Okay, good morning. This is a continuation of the previous video where I showed us how to create our CBT, how to create our multiple choice question. So I just, as a reminder, I, I said that the container, is what we need to create before putting the quiz question. So if you remember in the previous video where I gave all this information, then going to the second phase or stage, I added just one question. So that's the manual method if you watch the previous video. But in this case now, I'm going to show us how to create our question bank, and from there we can use them, to add question to our quiz instead of doing the manual method, which might be time consuming. Okay, so as a quick one, what's the criteria? What are the criteria you need to have? Or you need to first of all make sure that your quiz is ready in Microsoft Word, actually, because that's where you start your typing from. Some of us that have them typed already. So what you need to do from your end, make sure you have in your Microsoft Word. Now, this getting your quiz imported into LMS, you need to understand two things. Number one, your quiz must be formatted in a particular way, which I'm going to explain from what you can see in my Microsoft Word. Secondly, your quiz, must be in a particular file format, which I'm going to show us how to do that now using the save as, because we're going to learn how to save it in a different format, because currently now Microsoft Word format, or this format, is Microsoft Word, which has the extension of a .doc or .docs, whichever one. For those that don't understand what I mean, if you are saving your work, okay, this extension is not showing actually. So it's something like this, .doc, for instance. Okay, look at it here. I think this is the recent version having the .x. Okay, so just to show you that. But in this case, we are going to be having a different extension. We're going to save it in a different format. That's what I mean. But in this case now, let's assume you've typed all your question 1, question 2. When you are importing into Moodle, you don't necessarily need the numberings here. Let's say number question 1. You don't need that actually, because Moodle or the LMS is going to create the numberings for the questions. So if I'm having 5 questions here, LMS or the Moodle knows, these questions individually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so number 1 is these numbers, or whatever you're going to name your question, doesn't matter. So you can see in this case I'm not giving any numbering. Secondly, don't mind the coloring. I'm only coloring this so you know that these are the correct answer. So for each question with the options A, B, C, or D, okay, at the end, what the techniques you are learning here in creating your question is, at the end of every question, you are going to provide another, okay, that's called answer. You must write it exactly like this, because this is how Moodle will understand when you are importing. So Moodle will not know which one will be your, when you are adding it manually. Remember from the previous video, after adding the question, I went to the options and I gave option 1. And if I need that to be the correct answer, what do I do? For those that remembered or that have actually watched the last video, if option A would be the correct answer, what would I do? Okay, fine. I'm going to make that 100%. Do you understand that? Then for the remaining ones that are not the correct answer, what do? I'm going to leave them as none. For those that this seem strange to, please check the other video. So in this case now, there is nothing like 100% or none. So what Moodle needs to understand is which one is the correct answer. Just tell me. So at the bottom of every question, I'm going to write this in capital letter. It must be in capital letter. Answer, you put colon, okay? You give space and you put the option A whatsoever. So Moodle knows that since I've said A, then this is where I'm having A. It's going to give this as the correct answer, okay? So you don't need to highlight anything. I only highlighted it for, okay, just to show you what the correct answers are, okay? So my correct answer for this is A. So definitely at the end of this question, I'm writing answer A. So for question 2, you give the question A, B, C, D. Which is the correct answer here? I think the correct answer is B in this case. So definitely I'm going to put another line, answer in capital letter B. Do you understand? So you do that for all your questions. So even if you have your question, all you need to do is just to do little tweaking by removing some things like the numberings. But this A, B, C, D, you need to put this like this. Do you understand? Then please don't forget this last line. This is the only thing that looks um, strange or different from what you know. Other things remain the same, you know. You have your options and you have your question, okay? The only thing that we didn't put here is the numbering, which we don't need. It's not necessary. So you have question 1, 2, 3, and the rest. So just take your time, get all your questions ready. Okay, go through it. Do you understand? This is not necessary. Okay, so just get it done like this. If it's 20 question, get it done like this. Once again, you don't need the numbering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19. You don't need that. So for instance, look at this question. Absent student will lose dash point. A 5, B. You know what, you know what's distinct here from what you used to know is just the answer in capital letter, then the option that is correct. So this is what helps Moodle to know the correct answer. Okay, so once you're done with this, to save time, you're going to go to file, you're going to click on save as, and you're going to, under your save as type, look at this option, give it a file name, okay, which I'm using what I have there, quiz 1. So save as type, this is where you're going to come and you're going to look for the option that says plain text. So this is plain text. So I'm going to use plain text, okay, and I'm going to click on save. So I think because I have it already, it's going to tell me replace existing file. Okay, let me replace it. Save. Okay, it brings you to this option. You don't need to touch anything here, just leave it default. Okay, Windows default, don't touch anything. Okay, you can see the questions here under the preview. Okay, look at the preview, though you can expand this to see. You can expand it, so seeing my question like this is how plain text look like. You know, there is nothing like formatting. You notice that the colors I put here won't show here because this is plain text. It's not like the graphics Microsoft Word you are seeing. So with this, all you need to do is just to click on OK, nothing more. So once you're done, you don't need the Microsoft Word on. All you need is the new one I've saved. So you can see it gave me a copy because I use the save as. So I'm having the plain format here and I'm having the Microsoft Word. Can you see that? If I leave my cursor here, can we see this is a text document? You know, same thing, this is type. Just look at the write-up coming out here. Type Microsoft Word format. Under this, type is what? Text format. Okay, so that's just the magic you need to do here. Create your quiz in Microsoft Word. Please follow the format from what you've just seen now. Save it as a plain text. I've just shown you how to save it as plain text. You can rewind the video. Now all I need to do is to go back to my um, page as an instructor. So I'm going to click on this. Fine, you don't have to be on this page. You can be on your main course page. Okay, you can be on your main course page. No problems. So wherever you are, oh, I've gone too far. Sorry about that. So on my sociology course page, all I need to do is click on this action menu or the gear button. You go to the extreme end where you have more, because you want to locate where you can find the import the question bank, I mean. So I'm going to click on the gear button. Look at it, gear button. Go down to click on more. Once you click on more, it takes you to the extra menus. Then at the end here I have question bank. So look at question, category, import, export. Are you with me now? So I told you about category in the previous video. So let me just show you what category means. So meaning you could be creating different categories where your questions will be coming in whenever you want to import. Okay, so let's click on categories to see what we have. Oh, okay. Under category, by default, this is my course. Okay, for course sociology. So the question categories for course sociology, we have the default for SOC. This SOC is the short name I gave my sociology. Okay, so the default for SOC. Now look at what it's saying. The default category for questions shared in context, SOC. Now another category, question categories for category course template. Okay, there's a category I created, okay, called course template. So you could decide to use that, and you will notice that inside this, you can see in bracket, it's telling you the questions that are inside this category. Inside this category, you can see there is no questions inside this category. For default for system, okay, so this is default for questions shared in context of the system. I have 12 here. If I click to edit to see what is there, let me just see what I have there. Okay, I think because I've created this before in this same sociology course, so that's why I'm seeing that 12 question. So now I have to ask myself, whenever when I'll be creating this import now, this question, which of the category would I be using? Would I be using the default? Now what I'm seeing through here, from the previous video I did, I think I added some questions under this category. Now what's the question? I added this, what is the meaning of Grenville School? So if you look at the date now, on the 9th of April, that was when I did these two questions in this category. And I think today, yesterday, 16th, that's the previous video I uploaded. I added just one video, remembered? I did just manual. So why you see these three questions here is because I left it under this category called default for my course name, SOC. So if I'm going to add more questions from this question bank, I can decide to throw them here. So it's going to be inside here. Okay, so I just need to show you that question bank so you understand. So you could create your own categories. Okay, let me go back to the categories, and you can see add category. Okay, so in this case, let me add category, and I'm going to leave it, I'm going to make it on the top. It's going to be on the topmost part. So I'm not adding it under sociology, but at the top for sociology. Okay, so what's the name? I'm going to call it my mid term question. No problem, just give it a name. Okay, category info, whatever. can give it the same name. So I add a category. So adding this category, so whenever you are bringing importing question, you can decide to be creating different. So it helps arranging, or it helps for you to be organized. So whenever you're looking for, oh, where did I have that question? I have it in the midterm question. I have. Do you understand? So that's the essence of having categories. Else, you could just keep throwing them inside any of the categories. Okay. So you will notice this new category I created now. Nothing inside yet. So I'm going back to the question tab. You notice I have four tabs here: question, category, import, export. Do you understand? So going back to the question, this question is just to show you the questions you have for different categories. So question bank, select category. Now, by the category that is selected now is default for SOAK. How many questions? 3. Now let's see how many questions we have here. 1, 2, 3. Get it? Once I go here and I change the category to whichever one. Okay, look at this one having 12. If I scroll down, I'll be having what? 12 questions. So category is important for you to organize your your questions. So under this category called top for sociology, I'm having this same 3, which is under this top for sociology. Do you understand? Now, take note of this hierarchy here, or hierarchy. You will notice that top for sociology, these two, they are under top for sociology. Why? Because they are indented. You can see it's pushed to the right, pushed to the right. So they are all under top for sociology. Same for this category. They are under, all these ones are under this. Same for system. Top for system, default, they are all under system. Are you with me now? So if I had question now under midterm question, they are all going to be under what? Top for sociology. Are you with me now? Do you get that now? So don't get confused. They are just categories under different levels. Do you get it now? So straight to business. I go to import. Okay. Under import, what I need to do is I'm going to be using the Aiken format. You will notice it's even required by default whenever you want to import. Other ones you could use them, no problem. But Aiken, this one is required. Okay. You could read this question mark to tell you what they are meant for. So once you're done with choosing the format, all you don't need to set any. Okay, general, where is this question going to appear? Which of the category? So don't forget I created a category now called midterm question. I'm going to use that category. Okay, so this option says get category from file. Don't worry about that. Now match grade, error if grade not listed. Stop on error. That is if this system starts importing your question, if it detects any error, maybe you did not get your settings right, under this plain text, maybe there was a mistake. So what that tells the system is it should stop when it detects any error. Okay, but if it doesn't detect any error, no problem. So I'm going to click on drag or choose the file, whichever one. So let me use the drag because most people have not been using drag. So what you need to do to drag, because it's on my desktop, all I need to do is just click on it, left click on it, hold down the left mouse button and keep on dragging. Don't release your hand or the mouse. Don't release yet. Touch your browser, don't release yet. Move your mouse to go in the browser, don't release yet. Come down here and you finally drop. Get it now? It's now here now. It dropped. What I need to do is just to click on this button, that's all. Import. You notice it has passed the question. Passing the question from import, importing 7 questions, no error. If there was error, definitely it will stop. So it's imported my 7 questions. Let me be sure I'm having 7 questions there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 7 actually, so I don't need to waste my time. So my questions are imported. using the Aiken format. All I need to do is just to click on. You will notice that it didn't come with the options. That's the magic here. You notice I gave all these options here, but check. Do you see any option there? No. So the options are there. Okay, the computer knows what to do. Okay, yours is just do what you need to do. Don't worry about the process it's going to undertake. So I'm going to click on continue, and here it is. My question has been imported under the category I chose, which is midterm, and I have 7 under it. So whatever number you are having, if I add more to it, it's going to increase it from 7 to 20 to 50 to 100. So I'm having 7 currently, and that's how I create my question bank. So under category midterm, I'm having 7 questions. Under default for SOAK, I'm having 3 questions. I want it to load. I'm having 3 questions under this. Okay, so back to my midterm categories. I'm having 7 questions. So that's just how to import your question. So even if you are not setting your question now and you feel you just want to take your time to add your question here, so you don't bother going to Microsoft Word to look for your file again. They are all here. All you need to do is just to choose from them. Are you with me now? So let's go back to our course and use this question in our quiz. So I'm going to go back to my SOAK. Okay, now on this page I go to where I have my quiz, theory of society. So in this case, let me see, turn on editing. Okay, do I need to turn on editing? Okay, yeah, let me turn on editing. So turning on this editing now, I can click on this midterm test. So here you will notice that the quiz is just here for me because I had saved the initial quiz. I added 1 question. Okay, I think I need to edit it in this case since add. Okay, look at edit quiz. I'm going to click on edit quiz. Oh, good. I got where I wanted. So this was the question I added in the previous video. So I needed to add more, or I need to add more question. So instead of using new question, which would make me be adding them one after the other, I'm going to click from question bank. Okay, now which of the bank do I want to use? I have 3 inside here. Am I needing these 3? If I don't need everything here, I take the one I want. Okay, it's not compulsory you use everything. So the category I want to use will be the one I created under midterm. So okay, my midterm, not top for midterm. Okay, so under my midterm, if you don't need all the 7, you don't need to click all the 7. But if you want to pick, randomly pick from here, maybe I need just this one, I need just this, I need just this. Okay, you pick it and you add selected question to quiz. But if you need everything, just click on this total, this mark here, select everything for you. Are you with me now? So you click on add selected question to quiz. Do you understand now? So I've added more questions. I'm having more. So if I feel I need to add more questions, click on add from question bank. Since I know I have no question under midterm again, let's say I have some under default for SOAK. Let me choose this. So let's say I want to pick some from here. I need just this and this. Just tap them. Don't select everything. Choose the ones you want from here. Click add selected question to quiz. Do you understand? So it has reduced your work. All your options, you don't worry about them. The options are intact. If you want to try it, we could test the quiz, how it's going to be from how the student will see it. So once I'm done, let's say I need to ask. Now don't forget I told you about the numbering, that Moodle or LMS would number it for you. So let's say I need to add one question. Let me say add a random question. You say random, okay. Existing question bank, number of random question, uh, 2. So this one you are not the one choosing. Once you put the number of random question, computer would what? Do the matching for you out of all of them. So let's say I'm having since I'm having 3 questions here, let's say I want to add 2 questions. So what computer will do is to randomly pick, okay? Then I add random question. You will notice I didn't choose the one I want. I want random, okay? So just choose the number of random question, choose the category where it will pick it from, and click on add random question. I'm going to add 2 more questions to make it 11, 9, 10, 11. Do you understand? So you can see we have used these 3 options. Add new question by adding it one after the other yourself. Check the previous video. Question bank, you must have imported your questions to your question bank. So just pick from there. Same thing with a random question. Random question to also make use of your question bank. So it helps you to randomly generate a question. You'll notice this tool is called random. Okay, don't worry, it's not showing you the question, but the questions are there. You notice to tell you see question. Now let me see it. Okay, let me see the question it chose. You can see it chose this. What is the meaning of GVS? That's what it chose for me. I didn't choose it. Let me go back to see what it chose for the last one. Let me see what it chose there. Oh, chose both of them. What's the meaning of GVS? Oh, don't forget I'm having 2. What's the meaning of GVS here? So that's why. Okay, so without further ado, I've added my question. So you can tweak your maximum grade now. Since I'm having 11 question, I can say my maximum now will be 11, and I click on save. Okay, so that's that. Once you're done, from the student end, okay, don't forget you can't even attempt the quiz now because we said the quiz is going to be opened on the 20th. Okay, but just to show you how it looks like on the student end, let me take the time to show you this. Okay, I'm running out of time. Okay, go to my course, sociology. Oh, I need to log in again, it's been long. Okay, so on the students, clicks on the quiz question, click on midterm quiz, midterm test. Now I can still access it. The student can still, you won't even know how many questions are there, but from the teacher's end, the teacher knows what this. Now don't forget, I also told you as a teacher you could preview it. Okay, that's why you have all this magnifying button here. If you want to delete a question, you don't need it again. Click on this delete button. Okay. so but this zoom button here or magnifying button here is to preview. So once I click on it, it helps me to be able to attempt the quiz and see how it looks like. So to be sure that there are no mistakes. Let me attempt this one here, this random question. So what's the meaning of GVS? Green Spring School. Let me mess it out. Submit and finish. Oh, failed it. I know I failed this. Submitting network. What was this? Wasting time. My network is slow. Let me close preview. Let me attempt it again. Let me see if it's going to be the same thing. I think it's the network. Okay, so what's the meaning? Glenview School. Submit and finish. attempt this. True or false? True. Okay, so this is just testing. Marked out of 1. Okay, start again. Few correct response. It helps me to fill this. Okay, so this is just as a teacher testing it, so there is no issues. So once you're done, I'll go back to my sociology page. This is my quiz. And you can click on it. Even you can't, start the quiz because of this time. Okay, so but you could edit it like I told you. Okay, you could just do what? Edit quiz or preview. Okay, so if I click on preview, since I'm the teacher, I could preview the quiz and start attempts. No problems. I'm just previewing it. Let me see. There are not enough questions in category 15 to create a question to create a question random. Well, what does that? There are not enough questions in category 53. Well, let me continue and see. Oh, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay, let me edit that quiz. I think something is wrong. Let me edit the quiz. Let me delete these 2 questions. Let me delete it just to test something. Okay, so you're done. I'm going to change this from 11 since I'm having 9 questions now. Let me make it 9. Save. Okay, now I can go back to SOC Theory of Society, then click on the quiz. Since I can't attempt it now, I'm going to click on preview. Okay, start. Okay, you see those 2 questions were causing problems because I think there were not enough questions there and can't remember how many I chose. Okay, so I'm attempting the question now as a student, no problems. What's the meaning of GVS? Going with school. Next page. So teacher, always do your preview so that you'll be sure there are no mistakes. Absent student will lose. Oh, I don't know. Attendance will be taken. Oh. Serious. Don't mind me. I'm just choosing anything here. I'm having 9 questions. Oh. If you're feeling sleepy in class, you may take rest. So take note of this. This is the time. The student will see this time here, reading. Okay, and the number of questions they've attempted. They could go back to choose from here. Okay, so if I want to jump to question 9, I could just click on question 9 because there's room for that. So true. So if I go to question 7, that day student will lose 10 points. Question 6, I've now attempted that. Question 8. Okay, so once I'm done with that, all I need to do is next page. then I could finish attempt now. Okay, finish attempt. So it's so the student, this is the summary, but they need to click on the final submit. Are you sure? Yeah. Oh, I got 6 out of 9. I missed some, no problem. So this is how the student will see it. They will see when they started, stage finished. So if they didn't finish, maybe the system timed them out. It would show, unfinished, something like that. Completed when? Today. Time taken 2 minutes. Grade 6 out of. Feedback. So this is feedback I was telling you. So if you don't put this general feedback here, then the the system, okay, won't tell them anything. Okay, so this place will be blank. So that's that. I think I'm going to end this video here. So thank you for listening. Do enjoy the best of it. Thank you.